Today we'll be talking about the upcoming full moon coming up tomorrow on July 21st, and this will be one of the most transformative full moons this year, and I want you to prepare for this because the energy that's coming in is the energy that will affect you on a very long term. This is for the long term changes, long term shifts. It's coming in the zodiac sign of Capricorn, which is a very stoic sign. It's a sign that is slowing down the frequency so it can manifest in matter. It's a very interesting sign because it's quite disciplined, it's goal-oriented, and it's very practical by nature. So the energy that's coming in with this full moon is transformative on a very long term. The quote that I want to give to you for this time is that there's always a glimmer in those who have been through the dark, by Atticus. And this is so true because for so many of you who've been through something heavy in the recent years, right now most probably you're going through the most transformative times. And just yesterday I was talking with a friend of mine who's been through many dark moments. He had a very interesting childhood and he always felt quite misunderstood. And then after the pandemic, we started hanging more frequently, and that was the time when he started changing his life a lot, and he has been through a burnout because of too intense workouts. So he's been through burnout, and I've suggested to him to move away from his parents, to change his job, and that's what he did about 3 months ago. And he started very actively working on perfecting his vision for the future, being really precise about the life he wanted to live. He started studying, he started learning all kinds of things that truly, sparked his curiosity. So he moved to a new place. He changed his job. He has done many scary things, and it already boosted his confidence. And then just yesterday when we were spending some time together, he got an invitation to his dream job, and this was like the major reward for all his hard work he's done in these recent years. And I've noticed it's not just him. It's happening to so many people right now. Big changes that are like rewards, the fruits of your efforts, everything you've put in these recent years. Things are coming together. So Capricorn is the 10th sign on the zodiac life cycle phases, which means it's often a sign of initiation. It's a sign where you put everything you've learned, everything you've gathered into work, into practice, and you initiate a new lifestyle. So this full moon is very important right now because firstly, it has a lot of focus around your goals, around achievements. It's a time to assess your progress towards, your goals, to make certain necessary adjustments. If you figure out that you could do things a bit differently, that you could adjust something right now, it's a great time to reflect on that. It's also a great time to really find clarity around the things you don't want to experience anymore. So you can make a list of these necessary changes. Like, for example, just in the morning today, I was writing down what's the new chapter for me all about, where I will focus more of my energy, and what are the projects I will initiate right at this time. And I've been actually very inspired. Like 2 days ago, I was out on my bike and I got this very intense feeling of inspiration to create a course on transformation, manifestation, and everything I'm talking on this channel. And that's what I'm designing right now and creating, putting ideas together and all of that. So this is for me a phase of initiation. And I want to encourage you to reflect a little bit on your life. Like, what is your phase of initiation that is beginning for you right now, and find clarity around this. So you can maybe put some goals onto a wall, maybe in your office, in your studio, wherever you can see them daily. Because this full moon is bringing to you a lot of this inspiring energy. It's a very simple energy. Like, it gives you an ability to have this narrow focus into the wanting direction, where you will not be distracted by the nonsense, by the things that are not important. It brings a lot of awareness around the necessity of discipline, because the Capricorn encourages all this practicality and hard work so we can achieve whatever you're looking for. So it just reminds me, when I'm reflecting a little bit about how everything become possible for me, what I'm doing right now, it takes a lot of discipline and dedication, and being persistent with the goal. Like, if the goal for me was to build this YouTube channel, then practical steps were having right routine, so I can be in clarity, so every single day I can draw some inspiration for you, so I can reflect a little bit on how I'm feeling in a certain day, and then I can make a message out of it. So I'm having this YouTube channel as an outlet for what I feel, and transforming it into practical steps and inspiring messages every single day. And that was a goal for me. And as whatever story is evolving, you need to become aware into what it is transitioning. And as I mentioned, right now I'm transitioning into more precise teaching, more practical teaching. And I'm saying this to you only to remind you to reflect on your life a little bit, wherever you are. Maybe you're in a phase where you're changing your job, and it's a great time to make this kind of changes. It's a great time to notice, are you still satisfied with the present lifestyle? Or are you still satisfied in this relationship you are in? Or would you like to deepen it? Remember, this is right now, it's not a time for this quick changes, like when you just change something little and you think that it will bring you a sense of satisfaction. Right now is a time for long-term changes. It's for long-term success, making long-term goals, and reflecting on maybe the financial security. Are you still happy with it? Is there a space for change that could be more sustainable? All of that is right now very, very supportive. Then the second thing is when it comes to our emotional balance and personal and professional life, well, we have Sun in Cancer and we have Moon in Capricorn. Those are both initiative signs. And Cancer is more of this quick changes, and Capricorn is all about these long-term changes. So our emotional body is changing quite fast, right? Especially if our mind is quite compulsive, jumping from one thing to another. This time is reminding you to find very stable harmony between nurturing your personal life, which means maybe adapting your routines or managing your routines or updating your routines, adapting them to a new you, to that vision of the new you, who you see that you can become, that you are becoming, adapting your lifestyle to it. And then Capricorn brings this inspiration for your profession, for the part of your life that is, around something you're creating, something you're building, like a career or purpose or a mission. So we can find balance, like this is how I take care of my personal life so I can be inspired and motivated for my professional life. And my professional life needs to be inspiring and meaningful, so it inspires me to grow as a human being, to evolve as a soul. So I can find like these two parts of me coexist beautifully together, so they're making me who I am. Because many people are living the way that their jobs are something they want to escape from, and then in their personal life they're doing many destructive things to distract themselves from the pain that their jobs are causing. So they use alcohol and drugs and all kinds of different things, and maybe toxic relationships and all of that. When we learn to create a life that is very meaningful and purposeful, then we don't need to escape from it anymore. Then we start evolving in it, and it builds us as more leader type characters, more compassionate type characters, more interesting people. So this full moon is all about reflection on that. Do you see this kind of harmony in your life, or is there a space for change? Is there a space for change maybe in your personal habits or maybe in your professional lifestyle? Like, is your job still fulfilling you? This is a time for adaptation and changes in your career. Maybe upgrades, maybe updates. Whatever you feel that is happening right now. So as this is an earth sign, Capricorn is an earth sign, it's all about grounding new ideas. And often when great astrologists would describe Capricorn, they would describe it as a sign of a stone, because it's a very grounded element. And it's all about bringing whatever incredible ideas into fruition through practicality. So often also this sign manifests in people as wise people, like they would have a spirit of an old sage. But if they go into more materialistic, dense direction, they become very materialistic and very attached to the material lifestyle. So it brings a very dense energy, not in a negative perspective, but more in a perspective of manifestation. So whatever intentions you are having with this full moon, they have a great potential of manifestation. So this is a very intensified, transformative phase for all of us. We also have the planet Pluto conjuncting the moon in sign of Capricorn. So with Pluto closely conjuncting the moon, the full moon is potent for deep emotional and psychological transformation as well. Because Pluto's influence can bring hidden feelings to surface, leading to significant personal insights and potential rebirth. So many of you may be noticing that your life currently is turning out to be like you're meeting interesting people, or you're going to retreats, or you're finding out that that certain limiting belief was holding you back from not fully expressing yourself authentically, and all these things are just getting more clear to you. So it's a very powerful time to release all the emotional patterns by feeling them, by going deeper into them, and then finding deeper truth in them, which is often just certain insecurity was suppressed, and it needs to be recognized, realized, and noticed as your superpower. Something I've mentioned in the yesterday's video about 444. You can go and watch it. It's very inspiring. And This energy especially will be felt in areas related to authority and power dynamics. So firstly, you may notice where you may be scared of authorities, or where you're holding yourself back because someone else is in authority of something that maybe you want to get into a position of a leader, where someone is maybe controlling you, or where you feel you can't fully express yourself, and reflect on that and notice, could you speak about it? Like maybe at your job, you may notice you're not fully seen, or your talents, your skills are not fully noticed. Could you talk about it, or could you change your job? Like, it's all about growth and evolution of yourself. And sometimes when we're not seen and appreciated, and we know our skills are more valuable than currently it is, maybe at your job, then there is a job somewhere in the field that would allow you to create something greater with what you have within. And that's what happened to a friend of mine. He wanted to go into a sales business. He wanted it so badly because he wanted to work with people, he wanted to overcome his insecurities, he wanted to learn from others. He's a very passionate person, and he's enthusiastic about learning and growth, and that's exactly what he got. He got his dream job. And he had a lot of competition, but his enthusiasm was felt by the company, and they wanted him in their team. This is inspiring to me because, you know, when I see someone who's really passionate, I know that person will come far in his or her life, because, you know, the world is lacking passion. The world is lacking enthusiasm, because people are just walking around in autopilot. And we need to remind ourselves, hey, we're not here to just behave based by programs. These programs are outdated and need to be changed by consciousness, which means you need to bring more life into your life, so you can give life to what moves through you, as a sense of inspiration, as a sense of intuitive calling, as a sense of soul desires, which is often related to growth, to expansion, and to overcoming fears, to overcoming insecurities. And that's why this time right now is very, very transformative. It brings a lot of transformation and change. Then the fourth thing, a lot of creative and expressive energy is present right now as well. So the way you communicate is likely to be more, maybe dramatic. You may be more expressive right now. You may be focused more on individuality and creativity, which means that maybe right now it's not about having 10 friends around you, but maybe one with whom you're really building something great. Or maybe right now you're not really going into huge meetings, but you rather go on spiritual retreats where you can have these deep, honest conversations with people with whom you can build something constructive, something healing. This is quite a fiery energy. Venus is in the sign of Leo, and Mercury as well. So we have a lot of this fiery energy that ignites self-expression. And self-expression means, you know, you've been hidden behind the layers of identity. Your true self was hidden behind the layers of identity, masks you've been wearing. You've been adapting to society, to not be judged, to not be, you know, outcast, to not be a black sheep. But this energy brings to you a greater sense of awareness of what was hidden. And then because of that, you start looking for places where you could express yourself, where you could be heard and seen and noticed. And, you know, if you have something painful within, if you've been through traumas, you will feel like you want to bring it out, and you can bring it out somewhere. Maybe you can bring it out in your family, in your family circle. Maybe your friends are not really good listeners and you want to go somewhere where you can do it. That's why you feel deeply drawn right now to go once again, maybe to spiritual retreats, or to have a conversation with a coach, with a mentor, with someone who can help you on that process. And then the fifth thing, the dynamic and adaptable energy. So what does it mean? Well, it's as much as it's a transformative energy for long-term manifestations, it's also quite fast-moving energy that encourages us to go to travel, to explore, to study, to expand our mental horizons, to notice, well, wherever you're living, life outside of that place is quite different. So go to travel. I've just came from Czech Republic. We've been just, moving close to the border with Poland, and it was quite an ancient place. Wherever we were, it was very ancient because there was not much tourism. There was not much, any big company or big stores. It was very ancient. Old villages, people were very simple, and a lot of beautiful nature. Drinkable water in almost any river if you went a bit higher into the mountains or hills, forests. Very interesting place. And when you see something like that, you notice, well, maybe on the internet, the world right now, the time is moving very, very fast. A lot of content, a lot of everything. But then you disconnect from this internet matrix a little bit. You go somewhere into a wild nature and you recognize, well, here in nature, life is still beautiful. Life is simple. And here and there, we need something like that. I needed that reminder, and I don't know what you need, but you may feel very, very inspired right now to have this type of experiences, because that's how we experience the most growth. Because we get out of what we know and we recognize, well, the world outside of our known field is quite different. And that's what stretches us into new directions, where we notice there's so much of new potential that we haven't explored. So just reflect a little bit on that. If there's anything that resonates with you already, well, that's great. So also this period right now is all about breaking free from old financial constraints and finding new ways to build security. It's, exploring new possibilities, exploring new options in business. If you are owning your own company, most probably you're in a phase where you're maybe updating systems and noticing new, even better ways to make money with your work. As what technology is offering us, there's always there's always a space for an update where we can improve certain systems. So this is another thing that can come with this full moon to reflect on a little bit. Then it's a great time to explore your intuition more and to trust what you feel, and also explore your spiritual ideas, maybe certain spiritual calls, spiritual needs, which means that sometimes, we just feel on a deep soul level that something is maybe calling us somewhere, something needs to be expressed, like in a form of art, like we want to maybe initiate an art project or even an art career. And on this ego level or more analytical level, we're like, oh, how can I do that? I'm not an artist, or I have no knowledge about it, but soul is calling you. And it's a great time to follow that, because you never know where it will take you. Like, I had no idea my art journey will take me to where I am right now. And that's why I love to encourage people to follow that, because that's what I did back in 2017. It will take you to places you never thought possible if you trust and explore your intuitive insights, your intuitive feelings. If you have them, explore them and follow them. And then the last thing is that you may feel encouraged right now to address your wounds related to identity and personal power. So many times people feel powerless just because they've been growing up in an environment where no one truly noticed their unique gifts, their talents. People were suppressing them, and now they feel powerless. So I've noticed in my life that when I've actually separated from where I was growing up, and I've started living more on my own, and I've started studying myself, I've started noticing I have so many interesting talents that most of the world don't really notice or values until you become good at them, and then they tell you you're a genius, or you're a very talented, or you are very great at that. But so many people are great at something they've never evolved, and then they believe they're not great at anything. And that's why it's so important to, if you're still in an environment that doesn't see you for who you are, I would love to encourage you to move out of that environment so you can go through the process of healing, through the process of reflection, like how many things you wanted to do but you never did because people told you it's meaningless, or people told you it's not good, or it's wrong, or whatever. Explore your talents. Whatever you feel you're naturally good at, whatever it is, explore that. Because there's something hidden in this ancient native skills that you have within your soul. And you may be surprised what they will reveal to you. It will lead you to more power. You will feel more powerful when you will actually embrace yourself. It's not I said it's not a quick shift. It's a long-term process. And that's what we are encouraged right now, to make these long-term changes. It's something that will not be visible tomorrow, and it will not be visible the next month. But 3 years from now, you will be so grateful that you did it. And I've just noticed in my life, whatever big I've started, like a company or a career or a mission, it took me usually around 2 years. So I've started seeing big results, or the fruits of my efforts, the first fruits that I could say, oh, something big is happening here. It took me around 2 years. And then after, that second year, it kind of started taking me to a certain specific direction that was already noticed, visible, and I knew, okay, something big is growing out of this. It happened with this YouTube channel. It happened with selling my art, with creating business, out of actually inspiring and helping people. And I just know it's possible. When I've started helping other people, and I've started seeing that same pattern in others, especially when you work with someone for 2 or 3 years and you notice that same pattern that starts happening in many other people, you notice, well, maybe this is a universal law. Maybe life is testing us the way that it tests how persistent we are, how strong our faith is. And at a certain point, we just break this limited understanding where we almost wanted to quit. A breakthrough happens. And when it happens for the first time, it truly makes us believe into our power. But we still have a sense of doubt when it happens second time. We notice, well, I truly am a creator. When it happens third time, we notice, well, I can do anything. And then we just keep up with that process of change, of healing, of manifestation, of building something meaningful, and there's no end to it. So what is your goal right now? Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel right now? How are you feeling that? Maybe write some of your goals, maybe write some of your dreams, some of your visions to inspire someone else. Like sometimes people say, oh yeah, that's what I want to do as well. And you're being an example of someone who dares to dream and to follow your dreams. So this is it for today, my friends. I hope you found great value in today's update for the upcoming full moon, very powerful one. Maybe we're going live with this one as well. So let me know if you would like to see that. And thanks to everyone for supporting my art in our store, AttractPassion.com. And it's a store, I Draw My Passion, where you can find all of my art, prints of my art, some of the original paintings. To anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, maybe you would like to take yourself to the next level and you're lacking clarity in a certain specific, maybe sphere of your life, I can help you with that. I'm offering coaching. You can find the link in the description of this video. And thanks to everyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. Till next time, one love.